We in America are misinformed. Reality shows have warped our idea of what a hero is, or what the truth is.
For years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to distract you, to make you laugh, make you happy and docile, so you don't know what's really going on.
Creepy. It's just such a fetishistic event.
Come on, you can't sign? Come on, kids, only two of us.
I mean, in general, you want to lead a private life.
You don't want to socialize, Mr. Reed.
Yeah, well, I mean, the first thing the trainer said to me is, "Don't look at them." Like when you're getting close, don't look at them in the eye.
It sounds like some actors in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like, don't look them in the eye.
Yeah, but these ones are, yeah.
Keanu Reeves, a name synonymous with humility and resilience, has faced countless battles in the dark underbelly of Hollywood. From personal tragedies to professional obstacles, Keanu's journey hasn't been an easy one.
Creepy. It's just such a fetishistic event.
Come on, you can't sign? Come on, kids, only two of us.
I mean, in general, you want to lead a private life.
You don't want to socialize, Mr. Reed.
And now it seems Jim Carrey might be walking a similar path. Known for his comedic genius and larger-than-life characters, Carrey has found himself at odds with Hollywood's elite.
For years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to distract you, to make you laugh, make you happy and docile, so you don't know what's really going on.
So what did Jim Carrey expose that put him in the crosshairs of Hollywood's most powerful?
Well, I'm retiring, but
No.
yeah, probably.
Are you being serious or are you screwing with me?
I'm being fairly serious, yeah.
How is Keanu Reeves' own story a stark warning of the fate that might await Carrey? Let's dive in. Jim Carrey has never been one to shy away from speaking his mind. His journey from comedy legend to a voice against Hollywood's darker side is nothing short of remarkable. According to Carrey, Hollywood punishes those who don't play by their rules. He has brought forth new evidence against Will Smith, accusing him of abusing young actors. Carrey has hinted at a larger network of abuse and control within Hollywood, suggesting that many of the industry's biggest names are complicit.
Hollywood is just spineless, en masse. And it really felt like, oh, this is a really clear indication that we're not the cool club anymore.
These allegations have not only put Carrey in the spotlight, but have also made him a target. The question remains, why is he being targeted so aggressively?
For years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to throw you off the track, to distract you, to make you laugh, stuff like that, make you happy and docile, so you don't know what's really going on.
Jim Carrey's outspoken nature and refusal to conform have made him a threat to the Hollywood establishment. But he's not alone in facing these challenges. Keanu Reeves, known for his humility and kindness, has also faced his share of hardships in the industry. Reeves has been open about the difficulties he's encountered, from personal tragedies to professional setbacks. In a 2019 chat with GQ, Reeves spilled the beans about his stint in movie jail. He said Fox Studios put him on their blacklist after he turned down the sequel. And that blacklist, it lasted a whopping 14 years.
That was odd.
Let's rewind to 1994, a golden year for movies. Think Pulp Fiction, The Shawshank Redemption, The Lion King, and Forrest Gump. Plus, action junkies had a blast with flicks like The Crow, True Lies, Leon, The Professional, and of course, the one that put Keanu Reeves on the map, Speed. This flick not only wowed critics, but also turned Reeves and Sandra Bullock into A-listers overnight. It raked in a whopping $350 million against a $38 million budget. But every success story has its dark side. And for Keanu, Speed's triumph was a double-edged sword. After the cash registers rang loud, the studio naturally wanted a sequel. And if you're doing a Speed sequel, you gotta bring back the original stars, right? Sandra Bullock was on board, but when it came to Keanu, things hit a speed bump. Turns out, Reeves wasn't too keen on the idea, so when Speed 2, Cruise Control hit theaters, you couldn't find Keanu Reeves behind the wheel. Nope, they brought in Jason Patric to play some cop named Alex Shaw.
Don't touch anything.
But let's be real, he just didn't have that Keanu Reeves vibe. That special something that made the first Speed a hit. The director and his co-star Sandra Bullock implored Reeves to return for the sequel. I said, I read the script and I can't. It's called Speed and it's on a cruise ship, Reeves recalled to Esquire. He turned down the reported $5.5 million salary for the movie and instead went back to the theater in Canada to play Hamlet for under $2,000 a week. Obviously, Fox wasn't exactly thrilled. According to Reeves, the studio started spreading rumors, saying he ditched the sequel to tour with his band, Dog Star. But that's far from the truth, he insisted. So what kept him from jumping back into action alongside Willem Dafoe's bug-eyed? Well, for starters, he was all actioned out. Reeves had just wrapped up Chain Reaction, and he described the experience as really unsatisfying. Lots of running, lots of action, and not much fulfillment. This was way before Reeves morphed into the John Wick we know today. Anyway, the whole Chain Reaction left him feeling drained. He wasn't ready to dive into another action flick so soon, especially after narrowly escaping a hydrogen explosion in the first Speed. His manager spilled the beans to Entertainment Weekly, saying he didn't want to do 2 action movies back-to-back. And on top of that, Reeves had broken his ankle in a motorcycle accident. So the idea of diving into all those aquatic stunts for cruise control probably didn't sound too appealing. But Hollywood didn't seem to care about Reeves or his health. Instead, they decided to give him the cold shoulder. Turns out, not doing the film might have been the best move. Speed 2, which hit theaters in 1997, was a colossal flop. It only raked in $164.5 million against a hefty budget of $110 to $160 million. Plus, it's widely regarded as one of the worst sequels ever, with a pitiful Rotten Tomatoes score of just 4%. So in the end, it was Hollywood's loss, not Keanu's. Aside from being blackballed, Keanu Reeves has faced some serious personal hardships while building his impressive career and stellar reputation. Throughout his journey, he's had to deal with some heartbreaking tragedies involving people close to him. Back in the late 90s, just before the turn of the millennium, Reeves' sister Kim was battling leukemia. At the same time, he was in a relationship with actor Jennifer Syme. They met in '98 and were expecting their first child together, but tragically their daughter Ava was stillborn in '99. This devastating loss took a toll on their relationship, and they split shortly after. They may have tried to patch things up later on, but it never quite worked out. Then in 2001, Syme was involved in a fatal car accident after leaving a party at Marilyn Manson's house. Despite not being together at the time, her death hit Reeves hard. On top of that, Reeves was also close friends with another rising star in Hollywood, River Phoenix. You might remember him from his breakout role in Stand By Me alongside Corey Feldman. Tragically, in 1993, at just 23 years old, Phoenix died from a drug overdose at the Viper Room in Hollywood, with his brother Joaquin by his side. Reeves had co-starred with River in the 1991 Gus Van Sant film My Own Private Idaho. According to Reeves, he and River were unsure about the script at first, so the two made somewhat of a pact to be in the movie together. "I remember there was a kind of conversation had on Crescent Heights south of Sunset," Reeves told Esquire. "Oh, I recall so much of those days with River," Reeves said. So after River's death, the actor was understandably distraught. "I miss him dearly. I know so many people miss him dearly," Reeves revealed. "It's something he thinks about all the time, something he never really talks about. Friends know not to go there with him," one of Reeves' friends told People about the tragedy. Reeves' experiences highlight a pattern of mistreatment and exploitation within Hollywood, similar to what Jim Carrey has exposed. You see, Jim Carrey's journey from bringing laughter to the world to being labeled eccentric by the media has been incredibly intriguing. However, recent insiders' claims suggest that there might be more to this story than meets the eye. The star of Dumb and Dumber, renowned for his vibrant energy and comedic talent, is reportedly causing concern among his close friends due to his increasingly reclusive lifestyle, leading to worries about his well-being.
I do believe in manifestation, power of that kind of stuff, but I don't believe that any of it matters. You know, this mattering is to me.
On his 62nd birthday, observed on January 5th, Jim Carrey made a rare public appearance looking disheveled and hardly recognizable, prompting his friends to gather around him to offer support. According to a source cited by the National Enquirer, the comedian has been spending time in Hawaii and is hiding away, showing very little interest in anything Hollywood has to offer. The insider expressed concern, stating, "It's a big worry for the many folks who care about Jim, who's had some seriously rough moments these past few years." The source added that Carrey tends to self-isolate and withdraw. Observing Carrey's appearance, the insider remarked that the former actor seems to have taken a beating, both physically and mentally. The concerns about Jim Carrey's well-being stem from his decision to step away from his Hollywood career as an actor-comedian and focus on pursuing art. In March 2022, the Ace Ventura star disclosed to Access Hollywood that he was probably retiring from acting. Carrey explained, "Well, I'm retiring. Yeah, probably. I'm being fairly serious. It depends. If the angels bring some sort of script that's written in gold ink that says to me that it's going to be really important for people to see, I might continue down the road, but I'm taking a break. He further expressed, I feel like, and this is something you might never hear another celebrity say as long as time exists, I have enough. I've done enough. I am enough. This shift in focus towards personal fulfillment through artistic endeavors seems to have prompted concern among his friends about his well-being and lifestyle. Behind the scenes, Carrey said he grappled with a revelation that Hollywood was far more than just lights, camera, and action. He began hinting at the industry's concealed agenda to mold actors into mere reflections of their on-screen personas, manipulating the line between fiction and reality. In interviews and public appearances, Carrey's comments have begun to raise eyebrows as he candidly admitted that he often found himself losing his own identity to the characters he portrayed.
If you go deep enough into those characters, you realize that your own character is pretty thin to begin with. Who's Jim Carrey? Oh, he doesn't exist.
What's more, Jim recently revealed that Hollywood is a spineless industry. During a 2022 appearance at CBS Mornings, the actor-comedian told Gayle King on the show, I was sickened. I was sickened by the standing ovation. Felt like Hollywood is just spineless en masse, referring to the moment when Will Smith went to the stage to receive the Best Actor award for his role in King Richard and was given a standing ovation for winning his first ever Oscar, even though he slapped Chris Rock on stage minutes earlier. He added, and it really felt like, oh, this is a really clear indication that we're not the cool club anymore. He added that had he been in Chris Rock's position, he would have sued Will Smith. I'd have announced this morning that I was suing Will for $200 million because that video is going to be there forever, Jim said. It's going to be ubiquitous. You know, that insult is going to last a very long time. If you want to yell from the audience and disapprove or show a disapproval or say something on Twitter or whatever, you do not have the right to walk up on stage and smack somebody in the face because they said words, Jim Carrey said on the show. But Jim Carrey wasn't the only one who spoke about this incident. Cat Williams also dropped some bombshells about Smith. In one explosive interview, Cat spilled the tea, hinting that Smith might be a power slave, doing whatever it takes to climb that celebrity ladder. Williams implied that there are puppeteers pulling Smith's strings, controlling his every move behind the scenes.
Speaks, Will Smith is not the giant that he is solely on the merits of Will Smith or his family. There are 300 corporations that are a part of the Will Smith business. And if you are the people that are in business with him, when you decide that you're gonna do something, you can do it too.
He even suggested that the whole Oscar drama was a setup, a carefully orchestrated show to keep Smith in check. Williams emphasized that in the world of showbiz, where illusion often trumps reality, such staged dramas are more common than we might think. We have to understand that these are two giants in our field if you're a black person. This is the two guys, too big and too good to be involved in what they're in. That would make sense if it was me and Michael Blackson slapping each other, not Will Smith and Chris Rock. When two large boulders come together and you can't see Chris Rock winning at all, he's humiliated. If you were going to slap a comedian, he was the #1 to slap. Head of the Coons, so slappable. If you're gonna slap him, you just need the greatest guy, the best guy, the one who's shown us his best behaviors since the 90s. That guy is the one who will have to slap him in order for the type of ratings we need and attention to be on this thing.
If you were gonna slap a comedian, he was the #1 to slap. And if you're gonna slap him, you just need the greatest guy, the bestest guy. That guy is the one that will have to slap him in order for the type of ratings we need and attention to be on this.
Moreover, Williams suggested that Smith's decline in recent projects, such as the ill-fated After Earth with his son Jaden, signals a deliberate move by these puppeteers to discredit and sideline him. By orchestrating scenarios that lead to public scrutiny and professional setbacks, they effectively render Smith unemployable in the eyes of Hollywood's power brokers. They fiddle with the perception of the people, and that's part of the job. Back in the day, it used to be called propaganda, now it's just called business. They don't say we gotta smear the candidate, they just smear him. Whoever made you is qualified to break you, that's the end of it. When they bought you and put you on that Fox show, it was because you were going to do this and only this. You'll never do that. As soon as you breach that, they done with you too. They decided they were finished with Will when he did After Earth with Jaden. From there, they've done what was necessary to take him from $20 million a movie to put him in a position where maybe it can appear he has a nervous breakdown and is now unemployable.
They had decided that they were finished with Will will when he did After Earth with Jay. And from there, they've done what was necessary to take him from a $20 million movie to put him in a position where maybe it can appear he has a nervous breakdown and now is unemployed.
Drawing parallels to the ongoing controversies surrounding Diddy, Williams implies that both Smith and Diddy are victims of a system that chews up and spits out its brightest stars when they are no longer deemed useful. Anyway, Jim Carrey's journey to Hollywood stardom was a testament to hard work and determination. Raised in a lower middle-class family, Carrey harbored dreams of making it big in showbiz from a young age. He developed a knack for impressions and comedic timing, honing his skills through performances at school and in local comedy clubs. Carrey's break came when he moved to Los Angeles in the early 1980s. He quickly caught the attention of television audiences with his spot-on impressions of celebrities, leading to appearances on popular shows like The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson and In Living Color. The big screen soon beckoned, and Carrey's unique brand of physical comedy catapulted him to stardom.
You're it. You're it. You're it. Quitsies! Any quitsies? You're it. Quitsies. No any quitsies, no starts.
Throughout the 1990s, Jim Carrey dominated the comedy genre in Hollywood, becoming the go-to guy for laugh-out-loud entertainment. Movies like Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, The Mask, and Dumb and Dumber solidified his status as the king of comedic acting. His over-the-top performances, exaggerated facial expressions, and impeccable timing had audiences rolling in the aisles. Carrey's comedic brilliance was not just confined to films, he also earned critical acclaim for his work on In Living Color and his one-man show, Jim Carrey's Unnatural Act. The actor's larger-than-life persona made him a household name and a box office sensation.
Nice to meet you, folks! Fire Marshal Bill here!
As the 2000s rolled in, Carrey began to feel the need to explore new horizons. He expressed a desire to delve into more dramatic roles, eager to showcase his versatility as an actor. It was a bold move, as transitioning from comedy to drama can be challenging, with audiences often associating actors closely with their comedic personas. In 1998, Carrey took on his first dramatic role in The Truman Show, a thought-provoking film that blurred the lines between reality and illusion. His nuanced portrayal of Truman Burbank, a man unwittingly living in a reality TV show, earned him critical acclaim and his first Golden Globe Award for Best Actor. 2 years later, Carrey delivered another remarkable performance in Man on the Moon, where he portrayed the enigmatic and eccentric comedian Andy Kaufman. Once again, he received praise from critics and won a second Golden Globe Award for Best Actor in a Drama. As Jim transitioned from being a comedic icon to a serious actor, he encountered a mix of accolades and backlash from the film industry. While his dramatic performances received critical acclaim, an unsettling aura of doubt started to envelop him. Filmmakers started branding him as difficult to work with, and it seemed that the once fervent adoration from the audience was dwindling. There were unmistakable signs that Hollywood was losing interest in Carrey and attempting to render him irrelevant, possibly because he dared to expose their well-kept secret. Supposedly, the industry subtly worked to stifle his exploration of true potential, pushing him back into the confined box of comedy. And we all know that once an actor starts exposing Hollywood, their career and personal life would likely take a tumultuous turn. True to that, Jim's career began to decline, and he faced personal tragedies that shook him to the core. Losing his ex-girlfriend and being accused by her parents of having a hand in her demise tarnished his reputation and left him emotionally scarred. Hollywood's response to the situation was indifferent, adding to the mounting disillusionment Carrey felt toward the industry. Amidst the turmoil, Carrey found solace in spirituality. He delved into meditation and embraced the idea of visualization to manifest success. His spiritual awakening led him to question the very fabric of his existence and the truth behind his roles as an actor. Carrey claims that he began to recognize that Hollywood demanded more than just acting skills. It required complete surrender to the roles, often at the cost of the actor's sanity. Amidst the digital chatter, one devoted fan couldn't help but chime in, emphatically stating, "He's not insane when he's speaking fact." This observation shed light on the peculiar asymmetry in the way the entertainment world and its media often handle those who dare to disrupt the status quo. Instead of critically examining the veracity of their statements, the media too often resorts to labeling such individuals as eccentric or unstable, effectively deflecting attention from the substance of their revelations. Carrey's bold stance not only redefined the perception of him as an artist, but also brought to the forefront confront the age-old struggle between creative expression and the industry's desire to maintain control. His willingness to challenge the conventional notions of fame and celebrity status posed a genuine threat to Hollywood's carefully constructed narrative, leading to disinterest and attempts to undermine his credibility. As Carrey's transformation unfolded, it became apparent that Hollywood wasn't ready to embrace a Jim Carrey who questioned the status quo. The industry thrived on actors who embodied their characters to the point of losing themselves, only to be discarded when they no longer served the purpose. Carrey's deep introspection threatened the carefully curated facade, potentially exposing the industry's control over its stars. By now, it is obvious that Reeves' disillusionment with Hollywood mirrors Carrey's own journey. Even after all he's been through, Keanu Reeves remains one of the most down-to-earth and genuinely kind celebrities out there. And he has remained optimistic despite everything. Keanu left plenty of wet eyes in the audience in studio and at home during a 2019 appearance on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. After talking about mortality in regard to John Wick 3, Colbert asked the actor what he thought happens after we die. After a moment of thought, Reeves replied, "I know that the ones who love us will miss us."
What do you think happens when we die, Keanu Reeves?
I know that the ones who love us will miss us.
Also, every year, we hear more heartwarming stories from fans who've met him or from his co-stars, and it just brightens our day. One of the coolest things about Keanu is how he's always willing to put others before himself. Take his on-set generosity, for example. Instead of being a diva, he's a total legend. In 1999, he made a ton of cash for starring in The Matrix, but he decided to give a big chunk of it, reportedly around $75 million, to the special effects crew and other behind-the-scenes folks. He felt they deserved it more than he did. And when he was at the peak of his heartthrob status, Keanu willingly took a $2 million pay cut for The Devil's Advocate just so the studio could afford to bring in heavyweights like Al Pacino. Plus, he slashed his paycheck by a whopping 90% for The Replacements just so they could snag Gene Hackman. But it's not just about money with Keanu. Fans are constantly amazed by his respect for his female co-stars and fans alike. As more and more male stars' bad and even criminal behavior has been revealed over the years, Keanu has emerged as the gold standard. Although he has cultivated great relationships with his female co-stars on set, his sterling behavior on the red carpet has also garnered him praise. It's not uncommon for male stars to wrap their arms around their female co-stars while posing for the cameras, and many women in Hollywood wouldn't mind the display from their friends and colleagues. But Reeves appears to put his co-stars' comfort front and center. In 2019, social media was awash in praise for him after fans noticed that he has a habit of letting his hand hover behind the women he poses with, rather than touching them. The move was seen as a courtesy to his leading ladies and a sign that he didn't want to invade their personal space. Also, the Matrix star donates lavishly to charities, often anonymously. Reeves was reportedly inspired by his younger sister Kim Reeves' past battle with leukemia, and has since taken to donating significant amounts to children's hospitals and cancer research to give back. However, unlike many stars who attach their famous names to their charitable work, he has apparently given away much of his money secretly. "I have a private foundation that's been running for 5 or 6 years, and it helps aid a couple of children's hospitals and cancer research. I don't like to attach my name to it. I just let the foundation do what it does," he told Ladies' Home Journal in 2009 via Snopes. Reeves hasn't always kept his charity in secret, however. In 2020, the Point Break star auctioned off a 15-minute Zoom call with himself to raise funds for a children's cancer charity. So, despite Hollywood's attempts to derail Keanu Reeves' career, they totally failed. His awesome behavior has only made people love him more. In any case, only one question remains: what will happen next? Will their revelations lead to meaningful change, or will the industry continue to retaliate against them? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain: Jim Carrey and Keanu Reeves are not backing down. Anyway, that's it for this video, folks. Bye.